What's up, y'all? Want to welcome you to my crib. That's the whole crib. The Tesla Cybertruck, and in fact many electric vehicles, bring some awesome features that gear them towards camping. One of the main features is you can leave the climate on pretty much indefinitely until your battery runs out and you don't have any exhaust coming out that can poison anybody or do any harm. This thing can just run forever. You can have the screens, you have a lot of electricity to charge all of your electronics if you want that. And Tesla actually seems to try to capitalize on this idea with the Cybertruck Cybertent. It used to be called Base Camp, but I think they got sued and they had to change the name. I see why they didn't want Cybertruck Cybertent. Kind of sounds weird, but whatever. My main problem with it is that it's $3,000, and that is a lot of money for a tent. There's a couple other things about the Cybertent that are just not my favorite. Number one being, I just talked about how you can use the heating and cooling in your electric car indefinitely to keep you comfortable while you're camping. Tesla has no first party way to get that HVAC into your tent if you're camping in the bed, which is where the Cybertent gets set up. Also, this thing gets installed by Tesla at a Tesla service center, so it's not that easy to take in and out. You also have to take apart just a couple small things every time you want to set it up. The setup actually, it looks like from videos I've watched, is pretty decently fast once you kind of know what you're doing, but still it's something that's pretty much always in the bed, although it was intelligently designed to kind of make it so you could use your bed to the most even when it's in there. But the high price, the lack of HVAC, and coming with a manual air pump are things that make me think it's not the best. So I'm really cheap. I know I bought a Cybertruck for a $20,000 markup, but I don't like to spend that much money if I don't have to. So I've kind of gone out in search of a lower cost solution to camping in the back of your Tesla Cybertruck and also making it a better experience than what Tesla offers themselves. So we're going to check that out today. Now, I haven't tried all of this out yet. We're going to set up the tent, and I think I have a way to get the HVAC into the tent for us, which is going to be awesome. And on top of that, today's sponsor, Bespoke Post, is the perfect partner in this adventure. So for other Cybertruck drivers out there who are adventurous, or maybe you're like me and you just drive it to work and that's about it, Bespoke Post is perfect. It is a monthly membership club that sends curated boxes of amazing gear right to your door. I've received some really incredible items like my trifold shovel, inflatable solar lamp, and military compass. The shovel especially I'm going to be keeping in my Cybertruck in case it gets stuck in snow or mud. And Bespoke Post is free to join and you get access to great discounts. We're talking up to 30% off or more sometimes. Plus you're supporting small businesses. This I think is awesome. 90% of their products come from small up-and-coming brands. Bespoke Post makes it so easy to discover new products and elevate your everyday life. All you do is take a quick quiz to personalize your subscription. They'll pick the perfect box for you each month, and it's like having your own personal shopper, but way cooler. You can keep the box, you can swap it, or you can just skip for that month if you're not into it. Get 20% off your first monthly shipment. Click the link in the description and use code DT20 at checkout, or go to bespokepost.com/DT20. So if you're interested and want a personalized delivery from Bespoke Post, make sure you check out the link below and take advantage of bespokepost.com/DT20 to save 20%. So Cybertruck does have a lot of cool things built in to help you with camping. So let's check this out. The first thing is a literal camp mode that no other Tesla has had before, where you can go into the settings and you can actually level everything out, unlike my camera here, with the software in the Cybertruck. So let's do that first. All right, so we're sitting in the Cybertruck here. You go to outlets and mods, and when you want to use your power while you're camping, we'll talk about that later as well, which is a great feature. You go to outlets and mods and Cybertent mode. So you click this and it will say Cybertent mode levels the suspension, opens the tonneau cover, and keeps it open because we're going to be camping back there. Before you turn it on, check that your surroundings won't obstruct suspension leveling. So we'll click active and you can, wow, that is going fast. Oh my goodness. So you can see from the outside and from the inside, the suspension is leveling. Now I think I parked in a spot where we can't get perfectly level. Okay, never mind. It says suspension is level. I actually tried to park on a tough spot because if you're pointing down too much or something, of course, it's not possible to level out. The suspension only has so much travel. But sweet, that was so, I can't believe how fast that was. So let's check out this suspension. So you can see the back is lower, the front is much higher to make everything level. That is so cool. So now we are pretty much set up to camp and put our tent in the back. So let's do it. Now, no offense to anybody that enjoys camping, but personally, I have a job so that I don't have to sleep outside. So I don't do a whole lot of camping. You can see that I live out in the woods though. I mean, no, I'm at a campground right now. But I do like to be surrounded by nature. So I get the appeal, but yeah. So first of all, we have this tent. I'll link it down below, but there are a billion options, maybe not a billion, on Amazon and other retailers where they are for truck beds. Now, at the beginning of the video, I was complaining about setup for the Cybertent, and This will probably be worse to set up, but it's all about trade-offs. See, this one, when I'm done, I can just, oh, I probably just stabbed it. I can actually fully take it out. You can see that it only takes up this small amount of space, although who can ever get it back into the original packaging? With the Cyber tent, it's in there kind of semi-permanently, but the setup may be a little faster than something like this. This is not a video about setting up a tent, so I'm not gonna bore you with my troubles with this. And like I said, there are so many options of these. I just bought one of the cheapest ones I could find because I'm just making a video. I don't know how much I'll actually use it, but you can spend some more money and get more premium features, get them bigger. They can come off the back. So like this whole area behind here is also like a tent living space. I mean, I have a house. I don't know why I need tent living space, but I don't know. People seem to want that for some reason. So this is it. This is great. I'm sure that when I'm done camping, I'll be able to put it back into this compact situation. Now, before I start getting this set up, let's talk about the piece I'm most excited for. So the tent, I think I spent $110 on. So that's the price of that versus $3,000 for Tesla's tent. I think that might be worth the extra time to set up. And I spent $35 on this. Now this is an AC kit to vent stuff out of your window, but we're gonna use it in reverse. And we're gonna take this and we're actually gonna vent our HVAC into our tent, into the bed. Now, you know when you're working on a project and nothing goes right and you're like, man, I thought this would happen this way, but it got screwed up and it actually happened this way and now I have to like finagle everything together to make it barely work? This was the opposite. See, the front windows on the Cybertruck have two straight edges. And so I thought, okay, at least this will fill one of the straight edges and then I can figure something out for the other straight edge. No, the back windows, oh, I need this open. Check this out. The back windows are a single straight edge here. And so we can just cram this in here. I'm sure it's great for your Windows motor. Put this here and roll this up. Now, initially, you might get a pinch detection out of the window and it might go back down. But if you do it slow enough, this is now in here. Now this is a little open. You might want to shove like a paper towel or a cloth in there or something, maybe on this side too. But other than that, this is up against the sealed gaskets of the window itself. And so now we have a route to get HVAC from here. The tube will go right here to our tent and we'll have our heating or cooling directly from the Cybertruck. Now, it would be most efficient to get a tube to go from here in the truck directly onto the dash where the air is coming out. I may or may not do that in this video, but if you want to do this permanent setup, that's my suggestion for that. But as of now, there will at least be some amount, there won't be much force is the problem, there will be some amount of cooled or heated air coming out of here directly into our tent. The rest of the interior will be sealed up and you can control all this stuff from your app to warm it, cool it, whatever. It's sweet. You know that joke where the dad's like, hold the flashlight, like yells at you? I'm sure this is one of those situations. I mean, I didn't have a dad, but you know, I can imagine. It's dark. That's dark, that's all right. Don't worry, everybody. My mom did great. She yelled at me plenty. All right, let's do a quick tour. For having never done this before, I gotta say that was super easy to set up. It's not perfect. I am not gonna fully tighten everything because again, I'm doing this mostly for a demo, but it'll be fun when the kids get home. I'll let them play in here, they'll love it. Here's the tent. I don't know the specs of the Cyber tent. If they have them online, I'll put the length of the bed, like sleeping area. I will put that for you and compare it to this one. Now, there are different sizes. So again, I just pretty much bought the smallest, kind of cheapest one I could find for demo purposes for this video. But even that, I'm gonna throw a mattress in here. We'll check it out soon. There's plenty of room for 2, maybe even 3 people if you really wanna cuddle to be sleeping in here. And it really didn't take that long to set up. Again, first time. You can also tell, so I have these hooks here. This is kind of how it's supposed to go. They hook up in there really nicely, but gas trucks have a lot of random inefficient openings down there. And so there's plenty of spaces for you to hook those onto. And actually they want one of these hooks to go onto the wheel, which I'm just not gonna do. The bottom of the Cybertruck back here, like all of it is just all flat. So you don't have like this option. I was having trouble finding places to hook that. Again, I could make it work if I spent more time on it, but for, you know, the purposes of this video, this is all set. And you know what? I didn't even know this. Look at this window in the back. That's where our HVAC's coming in. That's pretty, it's so hot in here, dude. I mean, I'll open the windows, but how can you camp in this crap without HVAC? It's so hot. But then I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna have this tent here and I'm gonna have electricity here, which we'll talk about, and I'm gonna have HVAC coming in, why don't I just stay home? Why don't I just stay home? It perplexes me. All right, let's hop in here. Take your shoes off when you're coming to my house. Look at this, I can stand up. I'm 5'9", and my head is almost touching. So you got about, I would say this is about 6 feet tall, maybe 5'11", but then it'll say 6 feet. So we open this up. Oh yeah, nice breeze is coming in. You can roll that up if you want that. Okay, that makes it a lot more bearable. And then look at this, is just perfect for our little HVAC solution. If it'll fit in here, but I think it will. Well, maybe a little small, but we'll check it out. So you can open this from the outside, and here's where our HVAC will come in. I can put this, oh, look at this. It's like it was designed for this. It'll keep the rain out. The tube will come in there and the rain won't be able to come in. This is crazy. So let's set that up next, because that's the part that's the differentiating factor here and what I'm really excited about. The other thing I will talk about though is your plugs, your outlets are right here. So of course you can maybe go around, do an extension cord into here and just zip it up or something. The Cybertent does have an opening here that like will let you take advantage of those outlets. But they're right there. So you could figure something out to make them work. We'll try in this video. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Can you hear this? There is air blasting out of here. I didn't even know I left the HVAC on. That's because we're in camp mode, and when you do that, it'll turn your HVAC on. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. I'm so excited. I didn't even seal it. There's a little bit of air coming out of here. I'll grab a rag, and you can see like this isn't, I gotta fix this here. Let's just fix it real quick. There is air blasting out of this little hole. See, if you do it too hard, you'll get the pinch sensor. There you go. It's gonna have to be close enough, I think. There we go. Really crammed it in there. No pinch sensor detected. Oh, the door's open. So if I close the door, a huge blast of air came out of there as I closed the door. And then you'll have air coming out of here. This is crazy. I can't believe this is gonna work even better than I thought. That never happens. Again, this is working out even better than I thought. So you have this here, and you can actually insert it into that to keep everything as sealed as possible. We extend this as much as we can. And we just roll up the window a little bit. Remember that pinch sensor, and that's in there pretty good. So here's our, there, spread that out as much as we can. There's our vent out. We get our tube in here and we can go directly to that window. Well, I can tell you confidently, trying to rig all this crap up, I wouldn't want to be in here without some air conditioning. It's so hot. It's so hot. All right, so unfortunately, my tube was just a little bit short, but again, this is mostly for kind of experimenting and giving people ideas and stuff. But we got it rigged up here. If this thing was like a half foot or a foot, or what was that in meters, like 3 meters. If this thing was like 3 meters longer, it would have been perfect. It could just tuck up in here. The tube doesn't even have to come all the way in. Just being up under this would have the HVAC flowing. So let's try it out. It's hot in here. There's already a fly. Look at this. Look at all these bugs in here. The bugs like coming in tents? Who wants to do this? What are you people doing? Holy moly. If I kind of reach in here, I can feel a very small airflow. And if you were to have this right up here, it would do something to the temperature in this tent. That's for sure. The tent's hot. That would be awesome. And like I said, if you were to go in the truck, let's go look. So if you were to come over to the truck and hop in, and if you could, you can hear the air is blasting. If you could get a vent to go from here up to the window, that would just increase the efficiency like 100%. Right now we got to cool off the whole truck. The air is blasting. And then of course, just a little bit of that energy is going to make it all the way, or reduction of energy is going to make it all the way to the tent. So again, proof of concept, but I mean, that little opening was perfect. This one, it's just great. And then you could close the windows. You could really control the temperature in here. So let me grab a mattress and try this out. But again, the Cybertent is a little nicer than this. It's a little more practical. Maybe, actually, I don't know if it's that much more practical, but this setup you're looking at right here, before we put the mattress in, was 150 bucks maybe. 150 bucks. And we have 95% of the Cybertent experience. Here's our mattress. One of these can be had, I mean, if you want to go super cheap, you could probably get one for 50 bucks or something, but they can go up to 200. So somewhere, say 100 bucks for that. So a total cost of 250 you're looking at here. This actually looks pretty cool. And you're camping. You have your mattress, you have everything you need. You have your outlets are right here, still fully accessible. You can just pull back on that, and they're right here. So I can show you, so you don't think I'm there. They're right there. You can access your outlets. Now again, you'll have to like route something. This is supposed to be holding on to here. You'll have to like route maybe an extension cable or something, but that would work. Now, one advantage of the Cybertent I do want to point out is your tent is raised, and so you actually can store stuff under your tent and you kind of sleep above it. The one thing I really would want access to is that. So let's see, I'm doing this one-handed while filming. And yeah, that works perfectly fine. So I can access everything down there still, even with this tent in place. It just flops there. And that's important to me. I want to be able to access that, and there you go. So here's our simple final camping setup for around $250. We got a chair, we got some snacks there, a mattress, we got the red light. Oh, you know, well, okay, bugs aren't attracted to red light. So if you don't want bugs, you put a red light up at night so that they won't fly in there. Got your HVAC if you actually set it up correctly. And you be temperature controlled. You have your outlets. So like is to charge your phone right here. That is plugged in. Oh, I got the wrong cable, but you know, it's plugged in just for demonstration purposes. And again, another bonus of this setup is we are not spending all the money on the Cyber tent, but you can use all the same features of Tesla's camp mode with whatever tent you want. So you can have your lights on, you can turn them off, you can have your bed lights on or off, which you can also control from the back. You can have them bright, you can have them dim, you can have them off, whatever you want. Your outlets will work. You can have all of these cool, you know, like Cyber tent mode features without spending all the money on the Cyber tent.